Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of the most useful tools in CBT, the thought record. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by negative thoughts or struggled to make sense of your emotions, a thought record can help you better understand what is going on in your mind and how it affects your feelings and behaviors. In this video, I'll explain what a thought record is, how it works, and how it can help you take control of your mental health. A thought record is a structured tool used in CBT to track and analyze your thoughts. It helps you become more aware of your thinking patterns, especially the negative or automatic thoughts that can trigger strong emotional responses. The goal is to break down these thoughts to see if they're accurate, helpful, or if they're based on cognitive distortions, unhelpful thinking patterns that can worsen anxiety, depression, or stress. When we're stuck in negative thought patterns, we can easily start to feel and act like our thoughts are facts. A thought record gives you a way to pause and examine your thoughts, giving you the space to decide whether they're truly accurate or if they're simply exaggerating or misinterpreting the situation. Here's how a thought record works. It typically has several key columns to fill out. Situation. The first step is to write down the situation that triggered your thoughts and feelings. This helps you pinpoint exactly when and where your negative thoughts occur. For example, you might write, "I had a disagreement with a colleague at work." Thoughts. Next, write down the automatic thoughts that came to mind in response to that situation. These are the thoughts you may not even realize you're having, but that are influencing your emotion and behavior. For example, you might think, "My colleague doesn't like me," or "I'm terrible at my job." Feelings. After identifying the thoughts, it's important to note that feelings come up as a result. Did you feel anxious, sad, angry, or discouraged? The goal is to understand how your thoughts impact your emotions. You might write, "I feel anxious and upset." Evidence 4. This column is where you examine the evidence that supports your thoughts. Is there any factual information that backs up your belief? For example, you might think, "I've had conflicts with this colleague before," but is this conflict really enough to conclude that they don't like you? Evidence against. This is where you look for evidence that contradicts your thoughts. What are the facts that go against your belief? Perhaps you've had positive interactions with this colleague in the past, or you know that the disagreement was about work, not personal things. In this case, you could write, "They've complimented my work before," or "We just disagreed on a project and that's normal." By weighing the evidence for and against your thoughts, you start to see whether your thinking is based on facts or assumptions. Often, we discover that the negative thoughts we have are exaggerated, distorted, or not supported by evidence at all. Finally, the last column is for alternative thoughts. This is where you come up with a more balanced or realistic thought based on the evidence you've reviewed. Instead of thinking, "My colleague doesn't like me," you might reframe it as, "We had a disagreement, but that doesn't mean my colleague dislikes me. We can disagree and still work together." The alternative thought is often more grounded in reality and helps reduce the intensity of your emotion. It's not about ignoring your feelings or brushing off your concerns, but rather about finding a more balanced and helpful perspective. So, why is a thought record so helpful? It allows you to identify and challenge the automatic thoughts that fuel negative emotions. By regularly using a thought record, you can start to break free from cognitive distortions such as all or nothing thinking, catastrophizing, or mind reading. These distorted thoughts can keep you stuck in cycles of anxiety, stress, or depression. But a thought record gives you the tools to step back, evaluate your thoughts, and shift to a more realistic and helpful mindset. Over time, using a thought record can help you build a habit of questioning and reframing negative thoughts before they spiral out of control. This can lead to a profound shift in how you view challenging situations and ultimately how you feel and behave. The thought record is just one tool used in the toolbox of cognitive behavioral therapy. It's simple to use, but it can be incredibly powerful, helping you gain insight into your thought patterns and create lasting change. If you find yourself caught in negative thinking, I encourage you to give it a try. By learning to recognize and challenge your thoughts through cognitive behavioral therapy, you can reduce emotional distress and take steps towards a more balanced, healthier mindset. Here at Ontario Structured Psychotherapy Central North, we offer government-funded structured CBT in both self-guided and therapist-led formats. Make a self-referral today on our website at www.therapyontario.ca.